Hey guys, this is Sara, an astrologer in Toronto, Canada. Although I'm in Halifax right now on vacation. This is a little tiny apartment that I'm renting while I'm visiting my brother and my mom here with my children. And I wanted to talk quickly to you guys about the new moon that's happening today at 2:30 p.m. approximately Eastern Standard Time. It's a special new moon, and I want to show you what I'm talking about rather than tell you, because I think that would be easier for me. Hope you don't mind, but I'm going to bring up my astrology program here. This is called Luna Astrology, and it's a program that I use. It's an online program. It's excellent if anyone is looking for a program like this. Okay, so this is a picture. Well, this is a picture of the whole chart today at 2:30, 2:32 and 48 seconds today, Eastern Standard Time. And this is what it looks like in the sky. So you'll see here that we have the sun and the moon at 24 degrees of Cancer and 56 minutes. And when the sun and the moon come together, that's called the new moon. It happens once a month. Everybody knows this. This is a moment where there's this, it creates an empty void space, or it's an opening space, or it's a potential space. So what the new moon does energetically is it cuts all of the solar energy off from being on the planet. So it's almost like there's no reflection from the sun to the moon bouncing back onto the earth. Okay, there's just darkness from the moon. So because there is that empty space, if the moon represents our subconscious or our feminine, that part of us is dark and receptive. And so at the new moon time, we go open and we receive a new pulse of energy from the kind of the solar force. There's this empty space where we can kind of dream a new thing, or like, that's why people say to plant seeds at the new moon, because there's this sort of empty void space of potential that's created. What also is happening at the new moon is there's a new kind of wave spell starting of solar energy that's coming onto the planet during the next, 29 days or so during the lunation. And the moment of birth will tell us a lot about what the energy of that wave spell is going to be. So that's why you have astrologers talking about what the new moon means. It doesn't just mean that for this moment, it means that for the entire lunar cycle that we're about to go into. Okay, so for this lunar cycle, this would be the pattern, or this would be the energy. So when we're talking about what that means, we want to look and see, well, what is interacting with our new moon? So I'm going to click just on the sun and moon and say, well, what are the interactions to our new moon today that will set up the next lunation cycle? What are the themes of this lunation cycle? Well, first of all, we see that the sun and moon are in Cancer. So there are going to be Cancer themes. It's a late degree Cancer, new moon, and Cancer represents the emotional body, okay? So Cancer represents the home, the family, the feelings, the tribe, a sense of nurturing, belonging, attachment. And right across from the sun and moon, as you can see, is the planet Pluto in Capricorn, 29 degree, the planet of transformation. So what this theme talks to right here is that we are transforming, or there is an opportunity to go deep into our emotional reality, our emotional body, our emotional attachments, our sense of family and home, of being connected, of being together, of being safe, our sense of security, emotional security, belonging, all of these things, that we have the opportunity to go beneath those things. Pluto takes us to the bottom of whatever pattern is being expressed, and to understand the essence of what it is, or to transform it. What are we transforming? We're transforming parts of our relationship with home and family and safety that are non-regenerative, so that are dead, basically. So Pluto loves to get rid of the dead stuff, right? It's the underworld. So Pluto will bring us all the way to the bottom and burn away all the rotting flesh and the stuff in our patterning that just isn't useful anymore, that's not regenerating itself, that's not alive. So Pluto will take us to the bottom and help us understand our relationship to Cancer energy from a deeper level. Okay, so that's one thing that's happening. Now we have a sextile between the new moon and Uranus. Now, Uranus is an interesting planet in the chart. It depends on where you're looking at Uranus from, how you're going to relate to it. At a personality level, Uranus rules sort of shocking, traumatic disruptions in our reality. At a higher level, Uranus is our higher self and higher mind, higher mind states or higher mind forms. So it's intuition, universal energy, and our individuated impulse, our impulse toward individuation. What is individuation? Individuation is the ability to stand up out of the tribal conditioning, the tribal responses that you get from your family and from your community and from your television and all that stuff, your schools, and to be your own person. So this sextile here is really interesting because we have all this tribal conditioning here. We have all this emotional feeling stuff going on, you know. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, this is the way I like it because this is what my mommy did, whatever it might be, all that stuff that's not very individual. It's kind of received from others, right? It's imprinted. And then you have this sextile to Uranus saying, wait a second, slough off whatever it is that is not yours here and be true to you. Be true to your higher self, be true to your universal origin, be true to your authenticity. So let's not do emotional patterns the way we've been taught to. Let's do them the way we want to, or the way we are programmed to. Okay, so it's like a really, really powerful influence there, asking us to kind of not only go to the bottom of our emotional patterns, but also liberate, like a force that's helping us liberate from them, to bring in a higher sense of who we really are into the emotional realm. Okay. Now there's one more interesting piece here. That's this trine to Neptune in Pisces. So this is just mind blowing that all three transpersonal planets are directly aspecting our new moon today. Okay. But Neptune is, again, it's another interesting one, but at a lower level, at a personality level, Neptune can rule imagination, dreams, fantasy, delusion, meaninglessness, despair, hopelessness, feeling lost, feeling confused. At a higher level, Neptune is the gate to God. Okay, Neptune is a clear access to higher love, higher wisdom, higher grace. It is that connection to spirit. Okay, it's that connection. So in order to play Neptune, you have to sort of be in your higher heart, higher self, and then it purifies the and brings meaning to all that has been, all that is in its wake, right? It's the ocean. So it brings this sense of greater meaning, greater purpose, greater wisdom, and greater connection to whatever it is that we're experiencing, if we allow it to. So imagine that Cancer is the small me water, right? The me, this is who I am, this is my identity, this is how I feel, this is my mommy, this is my doggy, right? Like very personal. But Neptune is this ocean of emotion. It is this ocean of being. It's oneness. It's the whole thing. It's God. It's source. It's universal connection. So imagine that this trine is helping us take our small me and all our small me identifiers, our little emotional patterns, our security patterns, and it's helping to translate that to a larger context, or help us feel like we're part of something much bigger, so that perhaps we can attune to a higher frequency of love or a higher frequency of oneness, right? So if you are only seeing yourself as separate, then you're very contained and you're very securely attached to your own emotional reality, right? You think it's you. If you've never experienced a sense of oneness or connection to the universe, then you are very highly identified with your emotional body. I guarantee it, because that's how you stay safe, is by saying, this is who I am. Well, of course, this is how I feel. This is what I like, and you're hurting my feelings, right? It's that whole defending your emotional reality. But once you have a sense of oneness, or once you connect to that, or have an experience of being connected to that, you understand that the small me is a part of the big me, and you don't have to be stuck at any one vantage point. You really can choose where you're looking from, and we can fluctuate and go between the different places that we experience reality from. But this trine to Neptune is helping us dislodge ourselves from our addiction or attachment to our identification patterns, so that we can become something more that we all already are. It's more just a dissolving of the barrier so that we can feel what we already are. So this is kind of mind-blowing. Are you guys getting the picture here? Personal identity. Who doesn't have one? We all have one. We all have a personal me. Okay, that's Cancer. It's the personal egoic me. And the transpersonal saying, hello, is it time to wake up that personal me? Is it time to like say goodbye to the personal me, or at least to recontextualize it? We never say goodbye to our personal me. I mean, how could you? You're in a body. You came here to experience a personal me. But wouldn't it be interesting if your personal me could feel bigger, or could feel more universal, or could feel more connected to life and to magic and to spirit and to God and to each other? What if we all operated from a place of higher love and higher connection? Would we do the bad things to each other that we usually do when we're feeling separate? Probably not. Is this a wake-up call? Probably. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Now, there's one more big element I want to point out in this chart, and that is the square to the nodes. So right here on this picture at 232, we have the true, these are the true nodes, not the mean nodes, the true nodes at 0 Scorpio and 0 Taurus. I want you to just watch what happens to the chart when I progress it 2 hours. 1, 2. They change to 29, 29, Libra, Aries. So 2 hours after, and the sun and moon progress to 25 degrees Cancer. They're still conjunct, and they're still opposing Pluto. They're still trining Neptune. They're still sextiling Uranus. Okay, so within a 2-hour window of the new moon, which is still very much in the new moon energy, we have the nodes shifting to Cardinal, 29 degree. What happens at that moment is we get Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn squaring two cardinal nodes, 29, 29. And we get the 25-degree cardinal sun moon also squaring. So what we're creating here is a grand cardinal cross. Do you see that? A grand cardinal cross. Now, I don't want to get too techie here, because I could just start going off on the Pluto square, but I'm just going to try and make it simple. Pluto is squaring the nodes this year and started in April. It was a 5-degree orb in April. Okay. And it has been flirting, coming close, coming farther away for the entire time. April, May, June. Now we're in July. So this is the 4th month of Pluto squaring the nodes. And it's going to keep on squaring the nodes until November, I believe. So what does this mean? Okay. It's very important. 8 months of the year this year, Pluto squares the nodes. And what Pluto squaring the nodes represents is a major, major turning point in the evolutionary story of humanity, or of the collective. It's a change point, but it's not just a small change point. It's kind of like the deepest level of transformation that you can possibly experience. So I would like to premise, or I would like to hypothesize, that this year, 2023, our collective that we're all a part of, and each of us playing an individual role in, is going through a massive, massive reorganization of our psyche, of our collective consciousness, of our personal consciousness, of our whatever it is. We are changing at such a deep level, and we are sort of evolving to something that we don't quite know yet. So Pluto square the nodes has been creating a lot of evolutionary tension for the last 4 months. Maybe a feeling like, this is just a hypothesis, this is kind of how I've been feeling it. It's kind of like, oh my God, I know I'm getting really, really, really close to this pivotal moment where I'm just going to like pop over something and be in a completely new space, but I can't quite get there yet. So I'm kind of stuck, and I'm starting feeling the tension of the old self, or the old ways, the old life, the old systems, the old structures, the old societies, the old rules, the old baggage, the old traumas, whatever it is, the old. And I'm feeling that so strongly pulling me, but I'm also very, very, very firm that I do not want to go back there. In fact, I can't. So I'm kind of trying to anchor into something stronger, something deeper, something more authentic, so that I can be well positioned to move into whatever it is that's coming, because I have no idea what it is. It's new. New things are a little bit scary sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes they're really fun, especially when we know that they're good for us or that we can trust them, right? So we've had this Uranus and Taurus working its magic, helping us trust the universe, helping us trust our bodies, helping us have faith in something more than just whatever the material things are that we've been taught to love and taught to trust and we've been spiritualizing, so that this massive, massive transformation is coming now. Let's reiterate, now. And so that we can make a leap into something new, a new way, a new being, a new form, a new culture, a new society, a new reality. Okay. And we're at this very, very pivotal moment. Now, this new moon, this lunation, is carrying part of that theme. Okay. It's carrying part of that theme. If you're not aware of what change has been going on under the surface since April, I would predict that this lunation might bring that forward for you and make it personal because of the sun, moon, Cancer. It's going to make it personal. Now, I want to show you what happens in a few days from now. On the 22nd of July, we have this unbelievable moment. This is the 22nd of July. This is next Saturday, I believe. Now, the sun will move to 29 degrees. It's going to oppose Pluto at 29 degrees, 0.6, and making a perfect square to these guys, the nodes, at 29 degree and 6. Now, all I have to do to get the 29 degree and 6 is to, slightly change the, there we go, right? Just the hours. So at about 7:32 p.m. at night on the 22nd of July, Eastern Standard, we're getting this very tight grand cross, and Pluto will be squaring the nodes exactly. Okay, so this lunar cycle that's beginning today, you watch next Saturday what comes forward in the collective and in yourself. Okay, we still have a beautiful trine to Neptune there, and it's I don't know, man. I'm watching it like kind of with bated breath. I'm really interested in knowing. Like I'm going through like a lot of, I'm just really, really kind of looking at some old patterns and being very, very careful not to fall into them in the same way that I used to, trying very much to orient toward a more universal perspective on life and on myself, trying to see that my identity, all the identities that I've inherited or that I've connected with in my lineage and in my genealogy, they don't have to be my legacy. I don't have to hold on to them, but yet I still have to honor them. So I'm kind of going through this, a little bit of a re-wombing or a re-incubation of myself, where I don't really know how to rebirth myself yet, but I'm hoping this lunation cycle is going to bring that in. That's part of what I'm imagining this new moon today is going to bring in. So I'm going to shut this down right now, but thank you for bearing with me on this little adventure that I kind of took you through the chart. And I just want to leave you. Sorry, coffee. It's morning time here. It's like 8 in the morning. I just want to leave you with an invitation for today at about 2:30 p.m. when the new moon comes in. Tune into yourself in meditation. Call your higher self, call your guides, whatever it is that you want to do, call the directions, your ancestors, however you set your sacred space to come into your own center. Come into your center and ask yourself, what seed wants to be born of me through this lunation? What is the generative dream that I am to be planting into fertile soil for the next 30 days? And see what wish or what dream or what seed comes forward for you, and then plant it at the new moon and see where that takes you over the next cycle. Okay. I'm going to leave you there. And I hope this was interesting. That's all. Nice to hang out with you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.